Oh, Allen. Could have went to Green Bay. Grossi Posse Packer Nation. Welcome to another episode of Packcast, the podcast where you don't have to be a Packers fan, but it sure does help. I'm your host, Tom. Even though the Bears won this week, God, still feels like they lost. Grossi, and today we're going to be talking about Allen Robinson. This should be fun. Before I get to that, I want to do a big shout and thank you to a brand new YouTube member, and that is Jesse Sports Fan 1. Big shout and thank you to you. Now, in case you haven't heard, this happened earlier this week. There was a ruckus that broke out over the internet over Allen Robinson, the Bears' best wide receiver at the moment and for quite some time, as on Tuesday, he deleted all mentions of the Chicago Bears off his Instagram, off of his Twitter. All his social media was cleansed of Chicago Bear likeness. And everyone was like, oh man, this is news now, apparently, so we got to talk about it. And this has come about because apparently contract negotiations between Allen Robinson and the Chicago Bears have not been going well. So ESPN's Dan Graziano first reported that not only are the conversations not going well, but apparently the contract is so low for Allen Robinson, he's not too happy about it. So to give you some background, the last time that Allen Robinson signed a contract was in 2018, which he signed for a 3-year, $42 million deal. Now, this was coming fresh off his torn ACL that he had in Jacksonville in 2017. And if you can do math, you will realize that this is the last year of his contract in Chicago. Now, his agent and he has stated that he wants to stay in Chicago. He would like to renegotiate, even though I can't imagine why. I mean, who's throwing you the ball? But according to Dan Graziano, the Bears are looking to pay him $15 to $16 million, comparing him to Rams' Cooper Kupp. Meanwhile, you have Allen Robinson, who's like, oh, nay. Instead, he's looking to get that OBJ Tyreek Hill money, looking to get around $18 million, or, that Keenan Allen money, trying to get $20 million. And at 27 years old, and the fact that he's been relatively healthy, except for 2017, I mean, it kind of makes sense why he's looking for that kind of money. For example, the 2 years that he has been in Chicago, he has gotten over 1,900 yards, 153 receptions, and 11 touchdowns. Hell, last year alone, he had 98 receptions for over 1,100 yards and 7 touchdowns. So the guy has been producing. And I also want to make something very clear. That's with Mitch Trubisky throwing the ball. So that makes that even more impressive. Now, the Bears technically could use a franchise tag, which would make him very unhappy, considering that the salary cap is going to go down next year and the franchise tag for wide receivers is also going to take a hit. So yeah, he's not going to be too happy about franchise tagging. So obviously, the negotiations are still ongoing, but now people are talking about potentially, hey, maybe he's going to get traded. And I know what the question's going to be because it's already been in my inbox. Should the Packers trade for Allen Robinson? The Bears aren't going to do that, people. The Bears are not going to trade Allen Robinson to a division rival. It's not going to happen. And plus, Allen, you had your chance and you blew it. And Aaron never forgets. For me, honestly, I would be shocked if the Bears actually wind up trading him. If there's anything that I think that they will do, they'll attempt to use the franchise tag on him, or they'll just let the contract run out if they are to part ways. But then again, this upcoming draft, it seems to be a good wide receiver class, which was said about this past season, and the Packers still didn't pull the trigger on it, but it's okay. I'm not bitter. Plus, Aaron threw 4 touchdowns on Sunday, so it's all okay. So it's actually possible that the Bears wind up drafting his replacement in the 2021 draft. But looking at this from a Packers fan standpoint, I mean, yeah, this is like worst case scenario. You have a star wide receiver, in which I will say Allen Robinson is a very good wide receiver. And on top of that, he doesn't have very good people throwing the ball to him. You're going to get rid of one of your best weapons who's still in the prime of his career. And you're going through a QB crisis in which you don't have a solidified franchise QB. Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, they won last week, but it really feels like they lost. So we'll keep an eye on this and see if things get worse as the season goes on, because they have until week 8 for the trade deadline. Will they actually trade him off and get maybe a high draft pick? I mean, stranger things have happened Maybe they'll trade for another tight end. But let me know what you think down in the comments below. Do you think Allen Robinson is going to be removed from the Chicago Bears? And if so, where do you think he's going to go? I mean, there's plenty of teams that need a wide receiver. Just please don't go to the 49ers. But let me know what you think down in the comments below. You could always find me at TomGrossiComedy.com or at TomGrossiComedy on all social media. See down below. Check out podcasts on SoundCloud, iTunes, Google Play Music, Spotify, and of course YouTube. And a big shout out and thank you to all the patrons over at patreon.com/TomGrossiComedy and the YouTube members. We'll be streaming a Q&A tonight, 7 p.m. Eastern. Get your butts there and put on your dancing shoes, because we gon' dance. But thank you so much for watching. I'm Tom Grossi. And as always, go Pack Go.